Hey, what up, YouTube? Going to go over the my brand new 2021. Well, it's not new anymore. I've got about 30 hours on it, but yeah, brand new 2021. This is the 22-foot Bentley Cruise. So there you go. Nice badging, like the name brand, out of South Carolina. So it's local here to where I'm at in North Carolina. It's a really nice boat. Everybody that gets on it compliments it, and it doesn't break the bank. Out the door, I was right at 30K. Of course, that was in the winter, so I bought it in the winter and had it delivered in January to my boat slip here. So nice boat. Got your cleats, one on each corner. Thinking actually about hooking up my fenders to these things, but we'll see how that goes. I kind of like having the ropes there and got the anchor. Well, I don't usually leave that anchor on there. Somebody pulled that in for me. Get that rope off. But anyway, just a quick walk-in. I mean, you've probably seen videos on this before. These doors, man, when you first get it, you need to put some WD-40 on there. It really helps out. That slips in and out real quick, or nice and easy once you put the WD-40 on it. Be careful when you open these doors, because this corner right here, you probably can't see it, but it gave me a little dime dent there. Just got slammed, or when I picked it up and moved it over there, I moved it over too hard and put a little dent in my panel. So now it's officially mine, right? Once you mess something up. But anyway, you've seen these before. Everything's on a hinge except for one of these, and it's back there. But I got my extra life jackets in there. That's where I keep my stuff I usually need, like the anchor and toolbox and that stuff. This seems to stay really dry, so I put anything that I don't want to get wet in here. I use this one for a trash can or whatever. Yeah, most of the time I just go ahead and put the empty bottles and stuff back in my cooler here. This is the cooler. We throw ice in here. It's got a plug in there. It's nice. You just throw your ice in there and all your drinks for the day. You can get the cooler out on the finger or take it back to the car. After you do that, it just saves room on the inside. This is a real nice spot right here that when we're not going to be out long, we put a nice little cooler right there. Good area for that. Yeah, just moving around. This is the only one that doesn't have a hinge, this corner one. It's got some extra stuff back there. You notice the cup holders are all kind of in. I have mixed feelings about that. I think I do like it. I think all the pontoon boats are going with that now, or most of them, instead of having the thing sitting in the middle and you can move them around. I like the idea of being able to move it around, but it's just kind of nice to have it sit there. Kind of hard to get a big 32-ounce drink in there. Well, let's just show you here. So that's the only one drawback. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere, but it's definitely not kind of sitting in there like you probably want it to. But yeah, not too bad. Big nice Bimini top. These things are really nice. This one hasn't got stretched out, so it's kind of aimed up a little bit. It's got adjustments here where you're going to be able to tighten that down. So yeah, if you got any, I'd like to have that going straight down. So if you got any tips on that, throw them in the comment section. But I just love these things too. This is where you can disconnect real quick with one finger. Well, usually I could do one finger. Just open those up. You can move this Bimini up and down. One thing, if you're like me and a big kid, I wanted to be able to jump off this back deck. So when I first put the Bimini out, look at how close that comes. I mean, I'm going to stand here so you can really see it. I mean, you have no room to really get up there and stand, do a backflip or whatever you want to do. So I was kind of disappointed in that. Then a couple times, second or third time I got the boat out, I realized you have these back clips, these quick release clips back here too. So you can pop that up. I slide this thing forward this way, and the kids just go to town back here, man, jumping off this thing. It's like a little high dive or mid dive or whatever, but really a lot of fun. So keep that in mind. Got just tons of storage. We put everything. I put the cover underneath here. I'm gonna put the phone down here for a second. Oh, there we go. You pop that open. I've got my knee board in here, my poles for the tent. I try to keep the stuff off the battery. It doesn't work too good. We've got our wakeboard table that goes right there. I put it back here. You can have it. You can either put it here in the front. I like it back here better for people to eat underneath the Bimini top. So yeah, I guess you could pay for another one and have it up front too. But that's like this. Nice. I think you could make this into a changing room. I just had a changing room on the last pontoon boat. Never used it. So I just love all the storage. Take everything out. We have this big mat that fits perfect down here. Now, I was told this was like an $800 add-on here. This ski bar, you can look at the other ski bars, you know, and know this is a little bit special here. This really thicker gauge piping here. So I love it, and it really does the trick. Keeps that rope up out of the water, not pulling you down. I broke my shoulder a couple years ago on the back of a ski boat with the not having a ski bar, and that rope was just hooked to the bottom of the there was just a little hoop down there. Had an inboard outboard, so we didn't have the inboard outboard, so we didn't have the outboard in front of it. It was just a hoop to the thing. Don't do that, guys. You got to have a ski bar if you want to go out and kneeboard, do water sports. And it used to pull even the inner tube. It used to pull the nose of the inner tube down. So stupid stuff. Learn as you go. But it cost me a shoulder and a lot of recovery when that nose dipped down on that kneeboard, and it didn't give me time to let go of the rope. So pop, there goes the dislocated shoulder and broken. But anyway, let's move on from that. Oh, that was a horrible recovery. Suzuki 140, perfect. 6 years on this puppy. 6 years. Man, I gotta say that again. 6 years. Don't have to worry about an engine. I've always bought used boats, so this is something new to me, man. Just not having that fear. You know, just get your stuff done. And when people tell you have to have the dealership do the first 20 years or 20 hour service, don't listen to that shit. I went on the internet and they said they're not allowed to do that. Okay, so you just keep records of what you do. Learn how to reset. On the Suzuki, you have a little gauge here. I love this gauge too. It's not on the Mercury's from what I understand, but you got like 3 or 4, 5 4 warning lights there. Different stuff. Read your book there. I'm not going to get into that on what each one of them means, but man, yeah, you can do your own work on this stuff from what I understand. Now, again, I'm kind of new to this, but everything I'm reading on the internet, I like to do my own work. Here at this, over here at my marina, they actually they pull it out for you, set it on the blocks. You know, you got to schedule a time, but man, I can change oil and fluid. I get raped by a dealership that I bought the boat from. I'm not too happy with those guys now. They charged me $412 to change the oil on the first 20 hours. I found another company, and I had to take it all the way across the lake to do it. This other company said, hey, we'll do it for $200 and we come to you. So if you're in Charlotte, Lake Norman, hit me up on an instant message. I'll give you the place to take your boat to for the service. You don't want to go to where I took it to. I don't want to bash them too bad where I bought it from, but I'm really lost a lot of confidence in them on that price gouging. But also, and I don't know if they all do this or if this is a Bentley thing or just the dealership that I bought it from. This is another good thing. Bumper to bumper on the top. Also 6 years. They match that warranty on there, and then you got a lifetime warranty on anything from the floor down. So the tubes, more or less, are going to give you, the floor down is going to give you a lifetime warranty if anything a weld was to break or something like that, a pontoon, you know, fill up with water. And I don't foresee that happening. This thing looks like it's pretty damn well built. I've been under it 1,000 times and looked at everything. So just a real nice boat, guys. But yeah, just tons of room here too. This walk-in area on this Bentley, if you get this layout, I know they have the other one with the you know, the back and forth chair, and you pay another, I don't know, a couple $1,000s to get that. Why? You know, this right here can seat 15 people comfortably. So I guess if you're gonna take out, you know, you want, I don't know, it didn't make sense. It didn't check the boxes for me as far as what I wanted for my family. And the ability to jump off that higher deck there is a lot of fun. So I went with this layout, and I'm really happy I did. More the traditional. Okay, so yeah, here's your gauge. This thing, of course, you've seen other videos. This goes up and down. It's great. This seat right here, this captain's chair, they come sometimes in the high top. This is fine for me though, and I'm 6 foot, and I just love it. I wish I would have a, even though, you know, he taught me how to get in a windshield, but I can see on some days where I'd like that windshield, especially when it gets a little colder, to have that cutting down that wind and blowing it up over your head. And I think it would work here, even if you need to lower the seat. But this captain's chair does move forward, so you got this up and down along with the captain's chair moving forward. You're going to find yourself a really nice position there. Okay, these gauges all work real well. A couple of them, it was, you know, brand new boat, so there's little fuses on the back of these, and 2 of them for the lights I'm talking about. 2 of them were, I think it was this one and maybe this one, and they were a little loose back there. Guys, if that happens to you, just get up underneath this area right here. And this doesn't stay dry, by the way. I thought this would be like the driest spot on the boat, but when you have your cover on and it rains, it's going to let water get underneath here. You can see this stuff has gotten wet. See, this is my fire extinguisher and been out of the box. I guess I should take that out of the box and get ready to use, but I did pull it out and checked it. This actually gets wet under here, guys, but it's got enough room to get up under there and do a little bit of work on. That's one minus. I wish this door was a little bit bigger. Again, I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. I'd like to be able to fit underneath there and wire stuff up a little bit easier, but yeah, it is what it is. But you can get up underneath there and do some stuff. And that's how I got up underneath there and actually just turned these, like the light bulbs in the back. It wasn't a fuse, it was a light bulb. It was just a little thing, and you turned it and my lights all started working. It was great. So I put a depth finder on mine. That's the only thing that I added. They did a really good job of putting this thing on. This thing works at no matter what speed. I can have this full wide open, and you know you put that transducer on in the right spot. If no matter what speed you're at, you actually get a reading on that, and it's great. And I'll show you where they wired it down to. They put it right underneath my ladder, which kind of sucks. There's a wire, the black wire going down to it. I'm always afraid somebody's going to grab that. Hasn't happened yet, knock on wood. So, but that's a really good little hummingbird. I don't think it's too expensive, $1,600. I don't know. They put it on for me. That's one thing I didn't want to mess with. And then all these things over here, you know, you got your horn nav. You got some accessories so you can add some stuff on. I'm thinking about putting some outside lights on it. It's got the internal lights over each speaker. This came with a Jensen. That Jensen works great. Well, I say this, the radio is kind of wonky. I mean, I think I used to get better stations. The antenna is not 100% the best marine antenna that I've had as far as the radio goes, but it does a pretty good job. I mean, I can't pick up every station that I used to be able to on other boats, but it's okay. And the Bluetooth it fired right up. Well, it didn't fire right up, and one day it didn't work, and I came out the next day. I don't know what I did different, but it found my phone right away and connected me, so that's good. It's got weather and stuff. Of course, I never use that. I don't know what the auxiliary is. I guess you could put a CD on here or something if you wanted to. And then a USB. I've never used that either, but nice radio, and you can change and adjust the lighting a little bit, do some settings, you know, fade the in and out, front to back, 4 speakers again, interior light above each one of them. Really cool. And then here I actually had a short out one time on this, on my docking lights, and all you do is you push that button in there and it kind of resets it. So instead of changing fuses all the time, I guess that's just a quick quick way to do that is you just push these little buttons, and you don't hold it, you just pop it in real quick, and it reset my docking lights, and they fired right on. Let's just check and see if they're on. These things are pretty good. They're LEDs. Yeah, there they are. I turned them on the other night, came in, got a lot of light out of those little puppies. I don't know if I like them up underneath there. You know, it's always, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. They put them up underneath there, and they probably wired it that way to get them out of the way. I've had it where they're wired over up here on the side. Well, you're going to have that. Usually the wiring then is going to be somewhere here underneath your seats, and then you got trouble there. So I guess for now I'm going to say I like it until I hit the damn dock. But you see my tube sticking out there about 4 inches. It's not probably going to let those lights get hit. Yeah, hopefully they'll last for a while. But that's the only thing I'm a little sketchy about, or one of the things I'm a little sketchy about. But I think right now I'm going to give it a 9, okay, on the placement of those puppies. But yeah, so I guess, so again, the normal gauges here, everything you need. I do wish it had a trim gauge. It doesn't come with that. I'm sure you can have one added, an accessory or something to see how far you are. I just kind of look behind me, and I push that blue map a little farther down. I can see you can see the engine. I actually just kind of gauge it on going up and down. You get kind of used to it. Just do a quick visual check, see how far you're up on your trim. But you could probably pick up on this about 3 to 4 miles. I'm going to go ahead and take you out right now too. We're going to do a speed check. I top out at about 29 miles an hour with just me in the boat. I had like 7 people in here the other day. Gosh, so just an average, say an average of say 150 pounds. There were some girls, kids, and stuff in there. So take that and multiply it out. And I can't do that in my head right now. It's Saturday, guys. Just take that for what it's worth. We were doing about 23, 24 miles an hour. I was still able to get up a skier. I got up with having that many people in the boat. I actually got up on a knee board again. I'm right now at about 206 foot. So it's pulls pretty nice. They say on here, and again, I think you could probably pull more, but it tells you it's a 15 person, 2180 pounds. And it says, though, do not exceed 250 towing capacity, which kind of shocks me. But I paid attention to it. You can't really, you know, you can tow a couple kids, but you can't really do 2 adults on the tube, which kind of sucks. If you pay attention to that. Again, if you got, you know, something else that you know about this boat, and throw it in the comments and let me know. But God, this thing's kind of dirty. I left the cover off. I never do that. Got some bugs in here. But anyway, and then just a little cubby hole here. It does have your 2 USB ports there. Has a 12 volt. I don't use these things anymore. When you come out here with your phone, you just throw the USB on. That works really well. It charges my phone, does a good job. So I think that's about it here, guys, on the interior. Talked about the Bimini top. Let's go ahead and start the engine. This kind of got the, you know, the EFI. All my other boats had those Mercury 3.0 inboard outboards on them. It seems like every boat I bought in the past. So I'll just love this. And he told me too, if it's been a month since you've started it, that you might want to do that and let that come on and shut it off. And just let this, and then do it again and let this fuel pump kind of bring some extra fuel up. But I just started this the other day. So make sure that this gear thing here too is in neutral position, or she is not going to start. Okay, so that's what a lot of people, I guess, make a mistake of not doing. So come back here, and I always check the telltale, and there she is, peeing like a champ. Again, I just love the Suzuki so far. This is really done a great job. I did read the manual front to back, and they say to let this thing, if you got it at full power and you've been running a while at full power, before you shut it off and use your part, just go ahead and let it idle for a couple of minutes. And they said that helps it. So I'm going to do that, preserve the life a little bit on it, hopefully. I can see that why you'd want to do that. So anyway, I'm going to put you on pause here. We'll get off this dock and we'll see how fast you can go. I haven't cleaned the tubes completely. Your tubes, believe it or not, if it's sitting in a wet dock or wet slip like this for a couple of months, you're going to lose about 7 miles per hour. I know that sounds crazy and nobody believes that, but all that gunk that gets on your tubes, you will lose about 5 to 7 miles an hour on your speed. So if you notice that after you have the boat for a little bit, that's usually your problem. I couldn't believe it when he told me that, but sure enough, I cleaned the tubes on my own. He was saying, hey, bring it out, do acetone, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure that's the way to go. Because the film, he says, that even the film is going to take away a mile or something like that, even if you clean it as best you can. Again, selling, guy that I bought it from, just kind of, I don't know, always trying to squeeze a nickel out of you. But maybe he's right, who knows. But let's go ahead and get this packed up here, and I'll give you a visual out here on the lake. Let's go check it out. It might be kind of rough out there. It is Saturday. This is Lake Norman. But we're going to try to get it up to speed here. It cuts through the waves really good, so, and the chop. So that's why I got this. But hang on, here we go. So yeah, so I always I got a long ways to go here to get out of my no wake zone. So I always take this time to jump up here and pull these off. I put these clips on here. These are nice. These were cheap. I think about $8. And I can move those fenders from side to side. That's why I'm always saying, should I do permanent ones, or you know, taking up cleat space there, or should I keep it like I got it? Who knows? God dang, that current's pretty damn strong. Let's get this thing back around, heading towards this no wake zone here. I got one more here on the back. I usually just store these puppies. This one usually goes in the cooler for now. Make sure that door's shut. I've made the mistake of leaving it open just because, and anything laying on the ground seems to find its way back there and will get out on you. So yeah, go ahead and make sure you close that up. But oh man, just a nice day out here. We're going to get probably again another 1 or 2 miles less than what this thing can do. You put that Bimini up, and again, mine's kind of, see it how it's kind of up in the air. Again, if you got any ideas on, I'd love to get that thing straight down, but I don't know. Is it because it's just new? It needs to stretch out a little bit? I don't know. Or did they just screw me and not make it aerodynamic? Because it's like I'm a popping wheelie going down here, but we'll see if we can get out here and do some get you up to speed here. Hang in here. We're going to do a speed test. All right, everybody waves at everybody. Everybody's happy, just like on a motorcycle. Everybody's happy to be on a boat. Happier, I think. But yeah, so here's I'm not going to play this too long because I'm going to get blocked on YouTube, but this will let you hear the stereo. It goes up to 40. Just crank it up here. I like that mute button. It's just, it says pause and it just mutes the radio real fast. It'll do it on your Bluetooth too. But sometimes that's kind of, again, wonky. It just depends on what app you got. I got Sirius XM I put on here a bunch. I got, you know, a couple others. YouTube always stops, and I got to pick up the phone and do it again. I'd love to get me a phone holder up here somewhere. I just can't think of where to put it. I'd like to get one of those fish finder / GPS for night, man. Night's a whole different story out here. It's so, you can get so disoriented, even if you're pretty confident with your directions. I mean, it's pretty weird how everything looks different in the dark. Even in sunlight, in the daytime, you get turned around. You can hit to an inlet or something and think you're going, you know, one direction, you end up the other. So, but anyway, we're almost here, and we're gonna give it full throttle once we hit this no wake buoy. Hang in there. All right, we're ready to roll here, guys. Let's go ahead and kick it down all the way. Let it warm warm up here for a second. All right, here we go. Uh-oh, better batten this down. All right, right now, I've had some air in this thing too, and it got kind of weird. I had them on the 20 hour clear that out too. But it seems to be doing pretty good. If you get some slime or something in that tube, you know, your miles per hour is always the first thing to go. This thing's about spot on. I've done the check on the, what you call it, on the application there, a speed application or whatever. You can get a bunch of them. But I've done it. It's about spot on. It might be a mile over on my speedometer. So let's see what we can do. One person here. Going all the way down now. Make sure you break this engine in properly, guys. So yeah, man, my tunes are pretty clean. If I'm already up to 28 and a half, and I haven't even started messing with my trim yet. So we're just gonna punch up the trim, just notching it up, tap, 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 see what we can get out of this thing. And I turn around and check it, make sure it's not coming up too bad. This thing doesn't have a trailer up, so you can take the engine up all the way. Be careful of that when you're first on this boat, man. If you raise that puppy up, I mean, you can blow your engine really fast. But it shows you I'm doing about 5,200 RPMs. And yeah, still, my trim hasn't done anything. Again, it's not too choppy out here. You see, I'm punching this trim up, just tapping, tapping. Test, make sure you don't have that radio on, because I'm telling you, it can come out of the water very fast, and again, you get it in that red zone for long, you will pop you'll blow your engine, and there goes 60%, there goes 20 grand or whatever it costs for a new engine. All right, we're going to cut over here. This is a good spot to do speed stuff. Normally it's not as much chop. It's choppy back here today. Alright, what are we at here? Still right at 29, so we're probably at 28. Again, my pontoons are probably about 90% clean. So, and if you do the acetone, get all the film off there, who knows? You might squeeze 30 out of her. Kind of feels like I'm going right into the wind. And again, don't forget, I got this Bimini up. I don't know if it has. I'm going to get another mile per hour with the Bimini down. But oh boy! All right, I'm going to trim it down a tad more since I can hear it. That's about all I want to take it out. Yeah, I'm pushing it, guys. Right there's my mags. Yeah, so yeah, one person, you need to pull 30 on here pretty easy. This is really calm back here too. Alright, I'm putting the trim down all the way. Really only gives you about another mile per, maybe another 1-2 miles an hour you can squeeze out by adjusting that trim. And hell, I don't know if it's worth it, guys. Again, if you can pull that sucker out of there and mess things up, but tapping that down. So yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. But you know, your best fuel mileage, the dealership told me. That's not good to say. I know everybody's got to make money, but the dealership told me you keep it in between 30 and 40, 3,000 and 4,000 RPMs. That's your best gas mileage. you know, these gauges are always wonky, man. I've never had a gauge. Look at that right now, because it's got that floater deal in it. Best to check that right when you get on the boat, okay? You check that when you get on the boat, and that'll probably give you a pretty good idea, and then you start realizing what kind of gas mileage you got as you drive it. I always bring a 5-gallon bucket, 5-gallon gasoline thing, put it down there, and usually before every trip. And you know, I always love to keep it in that zone just in case I want to get crazy, go to the top of the lake. But you look at the variance in that, how far off it is. Let's see if we can settle that down. I don't think it will here, but I'm going to shut it off here. You know, let me put that out of gear, and let's see here. Let's turn it on. Yeah, that gas is showing that. That's probably about right. I did a good cross country last night. Went to a North Harbor restaurant, and that's a good click away. That's about a 40 minute trip one way. So that's probably about right, and it was real close to being full. So pretty decent gas mileage. I'm happy with it. Guys, that's the boat, man. This is the Bentley Cruise 220 2021. If you got any questions, hit them up in the comments. Hit a like if you like it. Put it down if you don't like it. Hell, I don't care. But hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this helps you. You know, you can find some other stuff probably on more of the technical stuff as far as the you know, what these are made out of and all that stuff. But real simple design in here, two-tone. But again, anybody that's got on the boat, if you're, you know, in that bargain shopping range, you don't have 60,000-70,000 to throw out for a, you know, Bennington or whatever. I don't know the names that are really expensive, but something that, you know, has a bigger stack here, and the 2 double fish finders and the motor up front and chairs and stuff. If you want a good, you know, $30,000 brand new boat that's going to do what you need it to do, at least it checked all the boxes for me. Like I said, think about this sucker. A good company making these out of South Carolina. Guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Later, YouTube.